Warning: graphic pest control video ahead. Do not watch if you might be offended. If, however, you really like watching pest control videos, then hello again and welcome to the Squirrel Hunter channel. Please continue and watch us as we control pest populations with silenced air rifles here in the UK. If you have any questions, can you please check the description below first to see if it's already been answered and for some useful links. Thank you. It's Bro and I today at Squirrel Hill, going on a recce repair and fill in job. Almost certain to be some damage on these feeders. Just how bad we don't know, so we'll go and check it out first, do some repairs with bits of wood and screws and stuff. We've got tools in the boot and some wheat. We'll top them up and prepare them ready for action. And we get to Bro's feeder. You can see the damage to the top of the lid on there, so we knock something up with the bits and pieces we have, and then we fill it all the way to the brim, so that's ready to go. Give it a couple of weeks, I think, and then come back. I met with these two trees across the track, so I'm going to have to carry the stuff up the hill. When I get to mine, I find there's been a big hole chewed in the top, right at the back, and they've had a gnaw on the strap. I had to ad lib the repair on the hole, so I found a flat rock and wedged it there with a few screws just for now. See, on the inside, I did miss something when I looked at this initially. I'll explain to you later if you haven't had a guess. And also you could see it here as well. I've also filled it up with feed. Then we went for a bit of a walk around. We happened to check on Grant's old feeder, which has not been used for many years. Anyway, this is the day we're out. Theobin Rapid 177, launching H&N Barracuda Hunter Extremes, one of our favourite pellets. You can see I've got to the hide position and moved away the dead leaves. So put the hide there so I don't make any rattling or scrunching noises. You'd be surprised how often you can hear squirrels approaching in the dry leaves or any other creatures. So you don't want to have that on the floor underneath your hide. And you also don't want to have to sort through leaves. If you drop anything, there's a great big chunk of rock, flat rock, stuck on the top of the feeder there to try and put them off going in the back. Hopefully we'll find the one that's responsible for cutting the hole and sort him out. Here comes our first visitor from the right. Reasonably early in the morning, but not horrifically early. That one's come straight in to feed. This is exactly what they used to do back in the early days. It's only lately, last few years, they don't seem to come to the feeder quite so readily. Should all go pretty smoothly. Now I've got the camera on him, I'll be looking to pick him up through the scope. I'm using the one leaf to record the actual shot, which I'll show you in a minute after this clip is over. See where I was aiming. Line it up on the shot, ready to take it. And there we are, I've taken it. Virtually a front on headshot. Works a treat. The angle that was up, the pellet would go straight down into the body, pretty much. There's all sorts of damage. Produces a very, very clean kill. That's why you use side shells. Here's the view from the one leaf. Put the horizontal bar right on the eyebrows. Vertical one right between the middle. Just anticipating a squirrel arriving on the feeder itself. Once I've set the camera up, I'll actually go to the actual rifle. There he is, or she. Normally they run up those logs of doom. This one's not interested. How annoying. The camera's just come back on again there. I thought it might be coming back. It's in the base of that tree. That's where it's disappeared to. There's a bit of a hole there. We'll just settle back and wait to see if it comes back out. Set the camera up again. And back over there again because it's come back out. No idea what it was doing in there, but it doesn't seem to be going towards the feeder, does it? I'm afraid these things happen. interested. See movement, there it is. Must be the same one again. How annoying. They don't all run through though. This one will come to the feeder this time, in one way or another. See by the bottom of the legs, got some wheat down there. This one's come straight into feed. How it should be. I've got the camera set up. I'm slowly lifting the rifle up. I'm waiting for the squirrel to adopt a feeding pattern. That'll do. Perfect. Good pop as the pellet strikes the skull. Straight off the small ledge and onto the ground. Here's the one leaf view. Looks a bit on alert there, doesn't he? Perfect. Straight over the eyebrow, straight into the thick part of the brain. Another squirrel that's coming through. No idea if it was the other one coming back. This is more like it though. That's a log of doom. Straight onto the feed hopper. I'm lining up for the shot. And there it is. Straight to the ground. Some violent nervous kicks. There's a link in the description telling you why they do that. They are dead. See, as soon as the head came back into the crosshairs, shot him straight over the eyebrow. Just kicked down the lane a little bit. Dead as a doornail. Spread this up now. Sometimes get this with a few dead bodies on the ground. This goes on for quite a bit, even though I've sped it up. Rather annoying, I know. Imagine it was like for me watching. I strongly suspected at the time it was the ones on the ground that were causing the issue. Something was definitely wrong. It's very uneasy, doesn't he? Anyway. Come down to the feed hopper now. Just let the camera roll, got the rifle in hand. I'm just waiting for him to stick his head out. It's gone back up to there. Trying to get his attention to go solid. Managed to pick him off. That was a bit of a mess about, wasn't it? Pretty much made the decision now. Have to leave a hide. Go and pick this one up. Check on him, make sure he's dead. Get rid of the rest of the bodies. Sometimes you've got to do these things. Can't be having that again. Skip through that, obviously. Just show me picking them up. You can stick them in a plastic bag. The hide, or check them behind the hide. Let's check on the one I shot. Make sure he's dead. Quick kick. Pretty sure he's gone. And here's the view of the one leaf. Try and get his attention. There we go. Got him on alert. Straight to the side of the head. This one's caught me unawares. Just galloped straight in. Got on a feeder. Probably while I was having a cup of tea. On Facebook. Or chatting to bro. Not sure what, can't remember. It's that lovely. And the camera's watching him. Gone for the rifle. Set the one leaf on. We're picking him up in the scope, ready to take the shot. No issues there. Nothing on the ground. Don't mind them kicking. Very often I'll kick them the slope. It'll be less bother if they're on the track. I may have to pick that one up. I'm not sure. Look at him first, a bit close in. Hunter Extreme's doing the job. Here's the view from the one leaf. Which is straight on headshot, presented itself. There we go. Straight over the eyebrow. We saw what happened off the back of that. That'll do. You can see I've been able to pick that one up off camera. That one's come absolutely ripping in. Knew exactly what was going on. Could see there was nothing in his way. Decided it was breakfast time. Straight to feeding mode. I normally stick a handful of wheat on the ledge. Just saves a bit of time sometimes. They all seem a bit thick here. They can't seem to operate the hopper for some reason. Anyway, I'm looking at him through the scope, waiting for my opportunity. Here we go. That didn't look good, did it? I'm trying to line up on it quickly. Something's happened with that shot. I can't pick it up in the scope. So I'm going to get at the hide pretty quick. Sometimes these things happen, but normally with a headshot, you can usually bet they can't go far. That's it sorted. I'll do a pickup while I'm out there as well. Not sure what happened. Let's have a little look, shall we? Where was I aiming? Looked fairly okay. Obviously it wasn't. You can see by that, and that's the view I had. So after a few seconds of trying to pick it up, realising it was bouncing around, I then left the hide to sort it out. This is the still just before the shot. You can see it's a little bit towards the right eye. Could have possibly been just about here, a little bit further over. But I didn't think that would make that much of a difference, but obviously it did. At the beginning of this video, I said there was something about those holes I missed. And what I missed was I didn't realise they chewed their way out, not chewed their way in. Pretty obvious when you look at the holes, the way the animals are. That the animal was on the inside chewing out, not the outside chewing in. And right at this moment, I don't know if it shows up on this video's audio, but I could hear something chewing inside that box. So when I got here, there must have been one in that feeder. That extra hole that has appeared must have been chewed by another squirrel that's got in there but can't get out. And I think it's because the lid's not tied down, they could lift it up. I just took a shot trying to provoke something to happen. And what's happened is they've managed to lift the lid, because it's not tied down, get in there, and then rather than try to force their way out, they try to chew their way out. Does that make sense? So I think there's a squirrel in this feeder right now. So I'm going to go out and investigate. I didn't film the activity, but you'll see the result in a second. I caught this one inside. It went for the hole, and when I got my gun, I shot it. You can see the way it's been chewed and the other chewing. It's all been done internally, isn't it? Anyway, lesson learned. I got 6, nowhere near as good as bruv, but I've also brought this plate out to cover that initial hole, so that'll do for both. I've also wedged that piece of rock in. I chucked a chunk of rock on top as well. Sort of doubly armoured it, made it as most difficult as possible to get another one inside. I was quite annoyed I didn't realise that until that point, but now you know, eh? Anyway, over to Bro now. One of the local pheasants. This is a pheasant shoot. They are good places if you can be lucky enough to get onto somewhere that has a pheasant shoot. There's usually lots of squirrels. They cause mayhem. They normally want them shot. Pretty stupid birds. There's a card on the front. Bro's taking his test shot. We always take test shots. It's the right thing to do. A few piles of wheat on the ground. Not that this thrush cares. Too busy looking for worms. What's he got? A snail there. Looks like it's a snail. Always good to watch while you're waiting for a squirrel to turn up. Here comes Bro's first victim. Good old look around. He's got a lump of rock on the top of his as well. Not quite sure why they do that little motion. They do it quite often. Maybe the muscles get a bit tense for that climbing. So well evolved for it. That'd be a tempter if I was Bro sat there. Sometimes they go on alert like that. I'm pretty sure he's gone for the rifle. It's always a judgment call, what you're happy taking the shot at. If you're not happy to take the shot, don't take the shot. Worst will happen, the squirrel will run away, but it'll be back another day, or back a bit later. Always a risk with wounding when they're like this, especially if they've been there sat there a while. This one's wandered off. I do believe that's the same squirrel. It's eventually come back around. And it looks like it's decided to play ball. I don't know what all that was about. See, Bro's lifted the lid on the hopper. He says they're particularly stupid squirrels in this area. Can't seem to work the hopper properly. You'd think it'd be no problem, wouldn't you? Just jump on there and have a little snack. What could go wrong? If it sits there like that, it's going to get some trouble anyway. Bro's going for his rifle. Takes him out. Another 177 Barracuda Hunter Extreme. I haven't checked what rifle he's got. I think it might be the Air Arms S510. Bro has played with this quite a bit today. Squirrel's messing about. Not coming to the feeder, dashing around the woodland. Ultimately not sitting still enough. Usually puts wheat on the ground, same as myself. Very least it gets some wildlife activity around the area. Gives the illusion that it's nice and safe. Squirrel spots that. Give them a bit more confidence. She's having a good scoff. A couple in shot now. All's good when you've got 2 squirrels in shot. There we go. It's a bit easier, sat there. Sounds very much like the Air Arms S510 cocking, I do believe. This might just be that second squirrel, not sure. It seems to know what to do with the hopper anyway. That'll do next time. There we go. Straight onto the ground. They do a good job killing things, these pellets. If they're accurate in your rifle, I'd give them a shot. Every pun intended. Sounds very much like there's some rain coming off the leaves and hitting the hide. Don't remember it raining that day. Never mind. Definitely something hitting the hide. Doesn't seem to put Mr. Squirrel off though, does it? It's more like it. I think that's a bird of prey in the background. I'm not sure if it's a goshawk or if it's a buzzard even. Sounds like I just sent a load of text to Bro. Obviously had 6 today, but he ultimately does better than me, as you'll see in a bit. There we go. No time wasted. As soon as it's sat in a feeding position, pellet to the head. Like I said, if you want to know why they jump about like that, have a look at the link in the description. It'll be the disinhibition of the spinal neurons, as explained in Ted's video, which I'm going to put the link down there. Another 2 potential customers hove into view. Whichever one sits in the right position first is the one that's getting it first. See, Bro thinks that one might be the one, but obviously not. Obviously when the camera's pointing somewhere and they move around, it's easier to use your eyes to work out where to point the camera next. Hence the lag in the camera moving. There we go. That one's muching around in the background. This one looks like it could be a good target. Yep. Not sure what's happened to Bro's normal ringtone, which normally is the sound of a squirrel squawking. I think this might be the one from up the bank. Finally come down to see what his buddy's up to. Can't quite work it out. Still too much head movement for a shot. Which way is this going to go? Is he going to go on the hopper? Or is Bro just going to shoot him there? So the camera's drifting up in the air slowly. Must be watching him down the gun, and he was. Yet another squirrel behind. Maybe I was wrong with the last one. Stacked up nicely for Bro though. Usually we hang around if one of us is on a milestone. And Bro's racking them up quietly. I think I got the first squirrel, or the first couple of squirrels of the day, and then they sort of came on strong for him. He's giving it a wait for them to get on the hopper, starting taking them off the side of the tree. They only have to be still enough to pretty much guarantee the shot goes where you aim it to. As long as you don't move the barrel, and they don't move their head, and you've done all your homework and your preparation work, you should get a dead squirrel. Patches on the ground, quite often helpful. You'll get a squirrel feed off them. The only trouble with them is sometimes they'll sit with their back to you. Not always a good shot to hit them in the head where they hunker down their neck. Sometimes it offers a brilliant shot at the back of the head, which is another good kill zone. This one could be getting a shot off the top of this feeder, I think. There we go. Stayed still far too long. There's one. As I said before, it's got on the feed. The camera's having a bit of a fit with the focus. There we go. Trials and tribulations of trying to film it. It's much easier in the day before we had to do this. That's a good clear picture. Nice regular feeding pattern. Oh dear, it's the back of his head. Which he managed to connect the pellet to. Nice shot there, Bro. See plenty of it. Another example of a frustration where a squirrel comes into view and runs away. I do believe Bro was on 9 squirrels at this point. He was after a 10th. I was waiting for him to get 10, make that milestone. I wrapped up about 3/4 an hour ago. I spent most of my time messing around with my feeder, waiting for the call to say he's got number 10. And there it is, number 10. It's always nice to get double figures if you can. Wasn't the best day we've ever had. I'm pretty sure 16 squirrels each, 10 for Bro, 6 for me. Not a bad start to the season. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you.